Whoa! Cooking up some killer grub with Bob, Danny, and Steve. You know what the name of the song is? Who the, who the, who the is Steve? Who's this Steve guy? Whoa! On the set here. Phone calls on the set. No cell phones on the set. Robert Heffernan, MangiaTV Cooking Vamp 100. My 100th cooking vamp. How about a celebration? And I'm going to add to my 300 food challenge by adding some Pendleton 1910 12-year-old aged rye whiskey. You know, my grandfather was a rebel from Kentucky. He preferred rye over bourbon. And so do I. All right, Cooking Vamp 100. I'm going to talk to Ron. I'm going to bring him on. Clean Drop Noble. We're going to finish up this bracketology on the best places to watch the NCAA. And then we're going to get right into MangiaTV, the past, the present, and the future. A little update on the 300 foods. I'm going to have a little short rock, paper, scissors with Frank. All right? And before we do any of that, remember, if you're in the market for fine wine, you need to go to CellarAngels.com. Use Mangia wine, and the shipping is on them. 1 bottle to a case. You're not going to find better wine anywhere, believe me. And it is shipped to your door from Napa and Sonoma. Small vintners, great stories, and a part of the proceeds go towards a charity of your choice, one of their charity partners on the website. Alrighty, so let's bring in Ron. Let's check out technology tonight. Look at that.
We're here.
You look like you got a chef's coat on or a bathrobe. I can't tell which it is.
It is taking one from Charles Barkley. It is the potato chip hood. Now, we have upgraded this. Now, you don't have to pay shipping and handling or anything. And, you know, if you buy one, the other one's probably still in your cupboard. But if you take a plastic bowl.
Right, I'm with you.
You can put this in the hoodie. Nachos, wings, salsa. You don't have to go with potato chips. You got a bucket right here for anything hot, warm, and saucy.
Oh, that is fantastic. And then you can remove, obviously you can remove that, switch it around, and pull it right back up over your head.
You can pull it off and then go dry if you just want some chips or pretzels or something. But, you know, for the hot meal, you've got this. I call it the MangiaTV option.
That is, you know, listen, it's all about the options, you know. The True Coat, you know, we're all about options.
Well, you know, Saturday we've got 2 games at night. You know, what better than to have some nachos? Maybe you could do chili, get some dippers, you know, anything right there.
It kind of reminds me of the horses on Michigan Avenue with the feed bag on. I mean, the original feed bag.
Yeah, if you do this correctly, I mean, you could put in a couple of beers and some ice. That's all you got to do is get a straw.
And a straw. You are. Oh, that is gorgeous. Way to go. That is in the Mangia spirit. I'm telling you that right now.
It is we call it here at Clean Drop, the MangiaTV option. No shipping, no handling. You already picked one up.
Right, you already have one.
Absolutely.
You got Rubbermaid in your drawer, in your cabinet somewhere.
Yes.
Alrighty. All right, let's finish up the bracketology that we started a couple weeks back. And, you know, talk about a Cinderella story, right? A small sports bar in Bend, Oregon joins the bracket and makes it to the final against a formidable foe, Las Vegas, Nevada. You know, with all their money and advertising budget, head-to-head, and where's the best place to watch these NCAA games? And since I'm running the bracketology, and I am not going to be in Vegas next weekend, Sidelines, with a bank shot half-court three-pointer, wins, mostly because I was in there for the Oregon Ducks game, you know, in the semifinals, and the energy level, obviously, you know, a hometown or you know, a regional supported team in a local sports bar. It was fantastic. I mean, there was a lot of tense people in that Michigan game. Holy cow. I mean, that was awesome. And so Sidelines upends Las Vegas, Nevada as the #1 place for me anyway to watch the NCAAs. Give me your feel on it. And by the way, Las Vegas, I got to lean out of the way, edged out Wrigleyville in that side of the bracketology. And Sidelines took on Applebee's and kind of a blowout as it was a hometown thing. But Applebee's got past Hooters. Sidelines got past the Poorhouse, and that's how we ended up with the final. Let's talk just quickly about Applebee's versus Hooters. Obviously, Applebee's still coming in way better on the health department scoring.
And even Dickie V passed on Hooters this year, and kind of went with Subway for some strange reason. But that was kind of a thing there. He'd been doing that for so many years, so there was a little momentum loss there. They didn't have the Momo, and he wasn't a primetime player with them. So yeah, I agree with your pick.
All right, so fantastic. We you know what? One thing I got to tell you, I'm happy about is I started something and finished it.
Absolutely.
The teacher told me in 5th grade, "Come on, finish your stuff." And so I got to go back to Sister Mary at St. Philip the Apostle in Northfield and show her that I could actually do that.
Well,
let's talk a little bit about.
5th grade is awesome, though. Best 3 years of my life.
We know it was good because we just lost your video. Hold on. Technology. Technology.
Hey, it's all right.
There it is. Look at that. All right.
We got the Mangia thing in, so we're good.
When I start saying technology, it's time for you to put the Mangia bowl in the hoodie and start eating. Exactly. All right. All right. Before I let you go, because I'm going to tie this back in on my MangiaTV history, current, and our mission, and I know that you have obviously a lot of insight and information that comes in because of your site and Clean Drop Mobile. And I know we talked a little bit before, but what's been coming through the pipeline as far as tweets and stuff, because I'm going to tie this back in to where we go with MangiaTV in the future.
The awareness of people of what they're putting in their mouth, what they're putting in their body, what that end result is, and fast food is basically starting to take it on the chin. The commercial, the photos, the banners that you see is not what they're handing you, and people are becoming more concerned about that as the cost of that increases, and they're going, I can eat mom and pop. I can walk into a Jewel Osco or something and get some incredible salad. I caught a Zimmer in Pittsburgh where it's farm to table and they've got little storefronts now, and a lot of these restaurants are paying attention to that, and I applaud them because people are becoming more and more concerned about where did it come from. I mean, Subway had that big thing with chicken about 2 weeks ago where they were saying it's only 50% based on a Canadian company's prognosis of what it was. People are paying attention to that now. I think that's a great thing, and that ties in with your eat 300 different things. And I mean, I actually caught a commercial on TV where they were comparing dog food. What's in it? If you're concerned about your pet, whether
right.
Dog, whatever, people are concerned about what they're eating. So I think what we want to do with Applebee's, Corner Market, a lot of mom and pops and the stuff that we're seeing, they're asking us to get their message out as to farm to table and what's in it. And I think, Mangia's mission, as we've talked about, is awesome.
Yeah, that cues me to a couple of things. You mentioned Subway, and Madison Avenue is so good at what they do, and the recent Subway, the Italian Hero commercial, that is so well done. I mean, it's just incredibly good advertising, and all of them are great at it. And it almost dissuades you from the thought process of what actually is the food that I'm eating. I mean, I love the commercial, and so it pulls the blinders over your eyes because you're engaged in the advertising of it. But I know that you've been seeing people just not satisfied with that. It's a great advertisement. It got me in here, and now the food isn't what it's supposed to look like. And also, people are starting to question what is the content of that food actually, doing to me health-wise.
A shout out to Panera Bread saying they're going to be all natural, by the end of this year. You look at Subway, not to pick on them, but that ingredient that they had in their bread was basically a yoga mat. I mean,
right.
People forget that stuff, but the internet never forgets, and then that stuff just comes back as to, you can fool me once, but you can't fool me all the time. And I think these fast food companies and some of the fast casuals are going, let's just do something right.
Exactly. And you know what? It brings me to a thought of, the 300 foods isn't supposed to be cardboard and yoga mats. I mean, I mentioned after I saw the article last year on this huge controversy in Brazil, a bunch of government people being paid off. I mean, I've always said that anything that goes to scale or huge scale, it breaks down.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're saying that a lot of the chicken product was cardboard, and I'm just saying that, well, if you can't look at your chicken product and decide whether it's chicken or cardboard, some of that's on the consumer. You have to demand more, and so it all goes back to the power of the people and making decisions on a local level, and I can't wait to continue that conversation with mom and pops and with larger companies, because we know that the conversation has been shifted to how are we going to promote community growth, know what our food sources are, support local farmers, have accountability at the local level. And so I thank you so much for joining me in this discussion, because it's so important to everybody.
Well, we're excited to do that with you here at Clean Drop. I mean, spring is coming, summer, so it's nothing but fruits and vegetables. And as we run through that, asparagus and all of those, seasonal things, as you get farther north and it just bumps up. I think it's going to be great where we can interact, with the producers and stuff like that, and get them on MangiaTV talking about their passion. Right. And if they're passionate about that, we see that passion continues all the way to the table, which is food safety. Yeah. I mean, they're proud of it. It's their child, right. And they want you to be loving it.
All right, man, great. That's fantastic. A shout out to Sidelines. They don't do much on social. Where's my winner bracket? There it is, winner.
Well, they beat up my poor house, but I still got Gonzaga.
All righty. Technology just does not want to keep your pretty face on the screen. I don't know why. I mean,
and contact Bob to get your bowl with some Mangia rub on it, people.
You know what? I might have to go into the bowl manufacturing business just for that.
We'll get it on your wings, get them in your bowl for the Saturday games and Monday night final.
All righty. All right, Ron, you have a great week. We'll talk to you next week, and it will be Monday. We might have to push the Vamp time up, depending on the tip-off for that national championship game.
Tip-off is 9 o'clock Eastern. It'll be Gonzaga against North Carolina.
Oh, yeah. I almost got out of here without letting you toot your Gonzaga horn. I don't know if you saw 2 weeks ago, but Mr. Clean Drop put in just a teardrop finger roll and said, Gonzaga, that's all I got to say. I don't need to say anything else. Fill out the brackets electronically with Gonzaga going and winning it all. So congratulations on that. How about we got a tweet at Mangia.tv from Weekend Grilling. Mark says congrats on 100th episode. Thank you, Mark. He's seen a bunch of them, and I really appreciate that shout out, Mark. Thank you very much.
We'll have to do it earlier next week because Gonzaga, North Carolina, and then Gonzaga will be cutting down the nets about 11:30, quarter to 12 Eastern time. So.
I'll still have time to go, get an ice cream cone.
I'll be cleaning up my bowl.
There you go. All right, pal. We'll see you next week.
See you soon.
Right on.
All right.
All right. Technology worked, mostly. I'm going to give technology, not excellent. I'm going to give it an okay. I'm going to give it an okay. All right. Sidelines, congratulations on being the greatest place to watch the NCAA. Listen, I want to talk a little bit about MangiaTV, where we came from. You know, that really came out of a conversation in a commodity trading pit several years ago. You know, everybody thinks commodity trading, it must have been such a crazy atmosphere, and it was. And it was, you know, crazy and lucrative and fun and, you know, stressful and sometimes incredibly boring. All right, and if nothing was going on in the markets, now you're sitting in a pit with 10, 20, 50, 100 people, you know, just shooting the breeze. And the conversation really came around about 4 years ago with the cooking content that we were seeing on TV, especially with Gordon Ramsay and this negative, in-your-face, people screaming at each other in the kitchen. We're looking at each other like, we got to be able to do something better than this. I mean, this is ridiculous. This guy is such an asshole. How is he on TV? I mean, if he showed up in the kitchen with me or with Big D in Melrose Park, he'd last about 3 seconds before he got his ass kicked and thrown out of the kitchen. That's kind of where it came from. Like, we get together to cook, you know, to be with friends and family and to love each other and to put together some killer chow and have some great drinks and celebrate life on a regular basis. And what is this content, you know, this competitive in-your-face? That's not how I grew up around food or wanted to learn how to cook because of that. And that's where MangiaTV really had its origins from. And, you know, I decided, you know what, I'm going to keep talking about this. And now I've been talking about it for 100 episodes. And not all the time showing you how to cook, but telling you how to cook, you know. It's like the Seinfeld of cooking shows. It's a cooking show that we actually never even cook on. Occasionally we do. And so that's how it all started, all right? And now I've engaged with the content or with the technology. Sometimes it works, sometimes it fails. Sometimes you get something that works great and they go out of business. They stop, you know, allowing you the use of the technology. That's happened twice in this journey with Spreecast and then with Blab. And so I'm continuing down the course of telling these stories because technology has allowed the interaction, the easier interaction of people that have inspiring stories and want to tell them. It's just easier and easier to do it. And so that's what we're looking for here at MangiaTV is some more people that want to engage with the technology and put together content for viewers around cooking, around health and wellness, around personal growth and being the best you can be, and around community and community building and instead of a top-down approach which everybody gets to just blab about on social media about everybody that's doing it wrong from the top. Let's just really re-engage from a community level. Let's take it back street by street and start growing and cooking for each other and celebrating our lives together and pushing each other in health and wellness from a community standpoint, from you know, back to the basics. And we're going to stream it all live. I mean, we're streaming open source content on MangiaTV when I'm not doing a live broadcast. And it's a great place to stop by and get an idea about a dish that you might want to do. There's great content that's been produced over the years, and we're going to stream that. But when we're streaming MangiaTV content, it's going to stream live first. Now, how about this one? So you can taste the authenticity. I thought about that myself. But it really does bring a different energy to a show when it's streaming live. So that's what we want to do. So listen, you can reach out to me at bob@mangia.tv. You can reach out to info@mangia.tv. Please drop me a line. Let me know what your ideas are. I can help with the technology, and we can get you streaming live on MangiaTV and grow this thing. Please, please, let's change the world. Let's do it. Let's not look someplace else to do it. You know, how about this? I just read today in Florida, there's major fighting going on in Florida because the state wants to be able to tell cities and communities what they can and can't do from a state level, overrule the community. How crazy is that? I mean, the communities, some of these cities like St. Augustine, and say, we've been around for way longer than Florida's been a state. The city's been around for way longer. What are you're gonna tell us now from the state level what we get to do as a community? The whole thing's upside down, right? And it doesn't work. As I left Illinois, because you can prove it there. All right, so that's what I'm talking about. All right. Now, before I go, let's talk 300 foods. Here's another thing. I would love to get somebody to join me on the 300 food challenge from a grocery store perspective. All right, let's start pushing this thing. I'm up to 134. I finally updated it. All right, I got Sonoma Brinery. All right, Sonoma Brinery at Natural Grocers. They have the most incredible bread and butter pickles. All right, now pickles a cucumber, but like we said, I've eaten a cucumber before, but I get another one for Sonoma Brinery's bread and butter pickles. They're unbelievable. They are insanely awesome. Fermented, right? Brined. Forget about it. All right. I got another. What do I got? Oregon, an Oregon Brinery sauerkraut, a new sauerkraut going. I got the Pendleton 1910 rye whiskey. That's right. I got purple broccolini going. All right. Broccoli, I already had that. I got purple broccolini, and I'm going to get another one for green broccolini. Purple potatoes, man. They were in the fingerling potato batches. Oh, forget about it. And I told Little D how to do it, and he did it last week. You cube it up. Here's the cooking portion of tonight. You make any potatoes you want to throw together. Throw a sweet potato in with a bunch of fingerlings. Chop them to about 1 inch. Right? Olive oil, rosemary, salt and pepper, 400 degrees for about an hour. You can flip them about 40 minutes through. They crisp up. Oh my goodness. And I don't need to, that was another thing about getting into this whole thing. I don't need to show you how to chop a potato up, do I? I mean, I hate that about cooking content. Just tell me. And then I've talked to some people and they said, actually people need to be taught how to chop up potatoes. So, all right, we're going to throw in a few frames in the editing process of a few potatoes getting chopped, onions getting chopped, in case you need how to learn how to chop an onion. All right, what else do I got? You know what I wanted to do? I wanted to show you this. I'll rock, paper, paw you for the last shrimp. Rock, crushes, paw. 2 out of 3? All right. Scissors, cuts, paw. Sorry, dude. All right, how about my boy Frank? Frank moving a lot, man. We take him up to the mountains. He just goes. That's what Frank does. And I've been sharing that on Instagram more than a few times with the MangiaTV public service announcement, and most of them are about getting out and moving. We all got to move more. All right, you got to move. You got to keep moving. Move it or lose it. That's what they say. All right, listen. Thank you so much for dropping by and watching Cooking Vamp 100. Please, if you are into content creation and want to change other people's lives along with engaging with technology and streaming it live on Mangia.tv, reach out to me, Bob at Mangia.tv, and we'll get her done. All right, that's what we'll do. You guys have a great week. Do yourself a favor and cook somebody a meal, would you? So far, we've had to send in our second batch of rub to Amazon, so thank you so much for everybody ordering on Amazon. It's really going to make a difference. Keep it up. Use the rub. Make people meals. Order more on Amazon, and we'll grease these wheels a little further, all right? You guys have a great week.
Come into my kitchen, babe. I'm gonna fix you something to eat. I'm gonna mix it up with passion. Gonna throw a pinch of something sweet.